Hi, I'm Kelly Sarlo.
And I'm Karen Sarlo. Kelly and I are mediums, medical intuitive psychics, and energy healers.
I'm also a life coach and health coach, but today we're sitting together to answer questions from our clients all over the world. Today's question comes from Roberto in New York, the United States.
Roberto wants to know if Kelly and I find it difficult to go out in public and to be around people in malls, grocery stores, and everyday things in life.
Yes, extremely difficult. It can be really lovely, but it can also be really difficult because no matter how full a place is with human beings, we see all of their spirit guides and their loved ones who've passed away as well behind them or beside them. And we hear the voices in our head as well. So while we might just be, picking up bananas, we've got someone's mom nagging us to go tell, the person in front of us that she's okay. So like I said, it can be really lovely, but at the same time, it can be a really big interruption in your day, especially if you don't know if those people are open to hearing those messages, or if you're on a day off and you don't want to be working. You just want to be enjoying, our human day, as we call it.
It's also difficult because as medical intuitives and empaths, Kelly and I feel everybody's pain. And not just pain, the good emotions too, things that are beautiful, but the pain can be a very difficult thing. Coping with that, whether it's something like hemorrhoids and we feel the pain in the butt, or someone has a sore right foot and we get the sore right foot and all of a sudden we're walking down the waterfront and one of us can't walk and we have to wait for the person to come towards us so that we can see that and let it go. It can be quite hard, not just being mediums, but also being medical intuitives. It's quite challenging to know how to process it sometimes physically, to know whether it's ours or somebody else's. And then even when we do know that it's somebody else's, what we're supposed to do with it. We have to ask the spirit world if we're supposed to give the person the message and ask them for permission and share it, or if we have the choice of just sort of walking off back and doing our own thing. And I know sometimes, I don't know if I can speak for you, but sometimes when you just want to enjoy your own space and maybe you're with a friend or somebody in the other group of people don't know what we do, it's challenging to be able to just turn something off, know that you're getting that message or that feeling and be able to deal with it if you're not allowed to go over and share it with the people. Or if you go and you ask them and they don't believe in what we do and they tell us to get away. Sometimes the reactions are not always positive. Sometimes they're from a place of fear. And we have to deal with all of that. We have to deal with people's responses too, not just the spirit world stuff and our own stuff.
And I think it's worth mentioning that while people react out of fear, they can also react out of excitement, which can be equally as burdening sometimes. I don't mean it out of ungratefulness, but when people do know what we do and are open to it, they'll oftentimes come up to us and just say, I know who you are. Do you have any messages for me? When you're picking up bananas, you don't want to have messages from people. You just want your bananas.
Yes.
So
the grocery store can take an hour.
Yeah. So, there are some really wonderful things because you can see people's enthusiasm and their excitement to share all the love that, you experience with these gifts, or you can be met with some fear and some resistance. Mm-hmm. And I think overall it can be quite tiring because the other side of it is when you're sitting and just engaging with people, human beings, I'll say, you also hear from the guides each time, if they're answering a question, the guides will say she's lying or he's lying. And so you're constantly in this state of being pulled back and forth of just listening and trusting them as a human or calling them out on it and saying, no, I know you're not telling me the truth. Do you want to talk about it or, do you want to stick with that story? So some people don't want to go there. And they can feel quite uncomfortable knowing that we know things. And it's never out of a place of ill intention, but it can be met with a lot of, again, resistance. So being in public has its difficulties, has its challenges.
Yeah, it's a balancing act.
why we go out in public together. Make it more enjoyable.
Thank you for the question, Roberto.